Welcome to our podcast. We're childhood friends turned book besties.
Discuss all things bookish. I'm Aysia.
And I'm Taylor. And this is TBR Files.
Welcome back to episode 3 of the TBR Files.
Hello, friends. We are so excited you guys are here and that it's our 3rd episode.
Yeah, can you even believe that we've been doing this now 3 times?
Technically like a month and a half.
Yeah, that's insane. Hope everyone's New Year's went well.
Absolutely.
And should we just dive straight into what we're currently reading?
Absolutely. You can go first.
Okay. So I need everyone to be super proud. I'm starting to count my audiobooks towards my book goal.
Heck yes!
Yay! We're doing it. We're doing it. We're tracking them. For the first time ever, audiobooks will be counted towards my goal.
Proud.
So I'll start with the audiobook that I'm listening to at the moment. And that is, it's one through Audible. Because my mom has Audible and I just use her account because I don't want to pay for it myself.
Absolutely free credits. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So I'm listening to Swoon by Lauren Rowe. On my Kindle, I am reading a book called Tell Me Lies by Carola Lovering. All of my friends are super obsessed with the Hulu TV show.
I was gonna ask, is it a TV show?
Yeah. And they're like, you have to watch it. And I was like, well, I kind of want to read the book first. And I'm about halfway through. And I don't know that I completely understand, like, what's happening. But there's, like, a relationship between two characters that I'm like, oh, yeah, I've definitely been in something very similar to this. So it's been, like, super interesting to read. And then starting today, I will be starting our buddy read, and my physical book, and I'll be reading Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. But what are you reading, Tay?
Okay, I am reading 3 books as well. So I am reading, this one I got from the library. It is The Love Hypothesis. I tried to get it through Libby, and since, like, October, I was, like, 43rd in line for it. And, like, there was no, like, wait date. It was just, like, several months. And I was like, I'm not. So, actually, I saw it. It was, like, when I first walked into the library, I was like, you're mine. Taking you home.
Yeah.
So, I'm about 100 pages in, and I am loving it.
I love that book so bad.
And then, on Kindle, I'm reading The Women on Platform 2. And then the next book is my audiobook, and I'm reading Pachinko by... I can't remember her name. Whatever her name is. Some people will know it, but it just won, like, an award, I believe.
Yeah.
And it is very good. I'm about 50% of the way through the audiobook. It's a long audiobook because it's like 500 pages or almost 600 pages, like, book-wise. So, of course, the audiobook is hella long. I think the audiobook's like 18 hours.
I've heard of Pachinko, and I've heard really good things. So you'll have to tell me whether or not it's worth the read when you finish it.
Absolutely. Well, those are the books that we're reading, but today we are going to be talking about our, like, final... I think we talked about it in, like, the last episode, how we were going to be doing, like, a wrap-up of our 2025 reading. So that is what we are doing today. And do you want to go first, Aysia?
Yeah. So I think... Yeah. So last year, 2025, was probably a record year for my reading. I don't know that I will be able to duplicate. Like, it was a bizarre month or a year of reading for me.
Yep.
In that I read 153 books.
That's freaking insane. Crazy.
Which is nuts, by the way.
Crazy.
But yeah, so, like, I know that that's a crazy number, and people are gonna... I feel like there's just, like, a bunch of people that are either going to be like, that's really cool, or they're going to be people that are like, you have no life. And
there's I think we talked about this, but there's so much discourse, especially when it becomes the end of the year and people are doing their wrap-ups or
yeah.
like going through Fable and Goodreads and like posting their wrap-ups. And there's like so much discourse, and it's like there shouldn't be discourse about reading books. Like
No.
there's nothing wrong with reading, say, 12 books or 50 books or 100 and something books. Like there's nothing wrong with it. So on
Mm-hmm.
this, we're a safe space here. You can read
Yeah.
however many books you want to read.
Yes, our podcast is a safe space for people who read one book or people that read 250. Like,
Exactly.
we're here for everyone. But yeah, so
We're
I read
just proud of your reading.
153. Yeah. So yeah, I read 153. I read every day of the year, which, fun fact for everyone, and I was so happy about this. I hit my 900-day reading streak on January 1st.
Girly pop.
Yeah.
Woo!
So it's been 900 days.
That's freaking amazing, Asia. That's
Insane.
amazing.
But yeah, so like I was with my friends and we were just like hanging out and I was like, okay, you guys do whatever you need to do for the next like 20 minutes. I'm gonna read. And they were like, perfect, sounds good. I was like, this is my 900 day. Like, I can't stop now.
Right.
Yeah. So that was that, yeah. In terms of just like straight up, I read 153 books and I read every day. What about you,
That's
Tay?
amazing. That is
Thank
like,
you.
oh, I'm just so proud of you. So, I read a total of 129 books, which
Hell yeah.
I'm so proud of myself for. My goal at first I set for 2025 was 50 books. I believe, yeah, 50 books. And then I reached 50 books, so I set it to 100 books. Definitely did not think that I was going to make it to 100 books. I thought I was going to do like what I always do with hobbies and like, I get really interested. This is my problem with most hobbies. I get really interested and then like I dive really deep into it and then I'm just like, okay, I'm done. No.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I did.
Yeah.
I love books. I just love books. And so then after I reached 100, I was like, I'm not gonna like further a goal. I'm just going to read what I want. And if it ends up being 105, so what? If it ends up being more, whatever. But I did do 129. And then I also read 365 days of the year.
Let's go.
I cannot wait to keep that streak going. Like that is such a big motivator for me, to have like a goal like that to keep reading because it's like it's a small goal to have
Mm-hmm.
to read every single day of the year. It doesn't have to be like 100 pages each day. At
No.
least for me, I could read like maybe 15 minutes and I'll count it as reading. So, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So, what
Um,
genres did you read like the most of?
my big genres were it's romance. It's romance every year. But like a lot of it. So I dived into the wonderful world of sports romance this
Oh
year.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I dove head first into the wonderful world of sports romance this year.
Okay, can we just like take a break? Can we pause? And can we just talk about our obsession with heated rivalry?
Guys.
Okay, so what I did is I watched the first episode because there was so much hype going around it, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna read the book. I think I'll just watch the show. So I
Hmm.
watched the first episode, and let me tell you, I was like, fine, I'll read the freaking book. And the book is really good. Don't get me wrong, guys.
Okay.
Like the book is amazing, and like parts of it did make me cry, but like the show is unmatched. Like
Yeah.
it is fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to read it and then I was like, no, I just like don't really want to wait. I just want to watch it. So
Yep.
I watched it, got super addicted, and then was like, I want to go into this season blind. Like, I don't want to know what happens.
Yep.
Um, so I watched the whole thing. Guys, I have this is like one of the most embarrassing things I'm going to tell you right now. This is our trust circle here, right?
Yep.
This is a
Right here.
trust circle. We all trust each other very well. The episode 6 came out not this recent Friday, but the Friday before.
Before, yeah.
Since that Friday, so it has been 8, 9, 10 days, 9 days.
Sure.
I've watched the whole thing through twice.
I just love it. I just love it. I have not watched it again because now I'm watching a different show, but I
Okay.
do plan on watching it again, probably multiple times. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking insane. It's so
Well,
good.
yeah, and like before a new episode came out, right? So like before episode 5 came out, I went back and I watched 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Before episode 4 came out, I went back and I watched 1, 2, 3. Like,
Oh my god.
I'm so addicted to this stupid show. Like, it consumes my every waking
Oh,
thought.
100%. Like, if I can show it, this is what Aysia sent me so I can put it on my screensaver. If anybody cannot tell, that is Shane and Ilya, and I'm just obsessed. I'm just obsessed. And I know so many other people are obsessed too. It's just like, and for me, it's not just about the gay sex, because for some people that's it. For me, it is so much about like the coming to terms with it,
Yep.
their sexuality, and like how they, especially in a very straight, conservative dominated sport,
Yep.
how they like have to hide this, which like should not be a thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like I think what brought a lot of people in was the gay sex, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
this show is the first 2 episodes are very, very lust heavy.
Yep.
And then you move past lust into like something that's growing more and more real and less
Right.
about sex and more about like love and understanding and like coming to terms with who you are as a person and coming to terms with like how the world will see you and how you want to be seen.
Absolutely.
And I think that like yes, it brought a lot of people in because there hasn't been a ton of gay representation in a way that like
Mhm.
it's not as there's no super super huge gay trauma,
Correct.
and that is something that like a lot of marginalized communities I think face
Mhm.
when it comes to being like represented in shows like this. Is it's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, we're gonna show this community and then we're gonna show how the world hates this community.
Literally.
And this felt less about the hate and more about the joy, and I think that
Mhm.
that brought a lot of people in to be like, this is a safe space.
Yep.
And then also I've seen online people being like, women are into this show because it's one of the first representation of a relationship that's on equal footing.
Correct.
Like, there's no power imbalance, so it
Yep.
makes women feel safe to like watch and experience this relationship with them
Right.
because there's not this like power imbalance or like fear for safety or like any of that sort of stuff that can come with a heterosexual relationship or like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
1000%.
I could write a dissertation about this show. Like, it is constantly running through my head. Like, I see different parts and then I I've fallen so deep into the rabbit hole of this show. I'm like
Oh,
itching to watch it again, and I'm like, I
TikTok,
can't.
TikTok, literally, it's either that or something about like what our administration has done. It's like either the heated rivalry or politics, and it's like, just give me more heated rivalry, please.
Okay, yes, I got really into sports romance this year. One of my friends introduced me to the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy because they're
Mhm.
turning that into a TV show. I think
Oh.
it comes out this year.
Oh.
Um, so she was like, I think you would really like these. You should read them. and then I did, and then I got super addicted, and then there's 3 interconnected series. So it's like Off
Yep.
Campus, I don't know what the other one is called, and then there's a third one. So I just like flew through those, and then I did the Windy City series, got really into that, and then I was like, I need to get off of sports romance because that cannot be the only thing that I read this year. So yeah, sports romance was big for me. Fantasy romance was big for me. I really, really dived deep into that.
Yep.
And we'll talk about sort of what I was reading, but like, but then also I was reading just regular fantasy with R.F. Kuang and like authors like that. I did quite a bit of literary fiction because that's literary fiction, contemporary fiction are kind of where most of my preferences kind of lie.
Yep.
And then randomly at the end of the year, I picked up a ton of thrillers. So
Ooh.
yeah, because fall is thriller season, like
Yes, it
obviously,
is.
yeah,
Spooky thriller season, 1000%.
yeah. What about you? What are your genres of choice in 2025?
So, started off clearly romance. I read 53 romance books. And then young adult. I actually read 41 young adult books.
Oh wow.
And now I am actually kind of moving a little bit out of young adult into just like either new adult or just regular adult.
Mm-hmm.
But I still love me some good young adult books. And I read 41 young
Oh
adult
wow.
books. Then I read fantasy was my next one, and I read 33 fantasy books, which, like, how many of them were Sarah J. Maas? And then, surprisingly, science fiction, I read 27 science fiction books,
Oh
and
hell
that was
yeah.
like starting at, I'd say, September on was when I
Mm-hmm.
got into sci-fi, and then thrillers, I read 21
Okay.
thrillers. For
Yep.
me, thrillers are a good, like, slump break.
100%. A
Hmm.
thriller can pull me out of a slump easier than a lot of books can because I'm like
Yep,
really tied into that story.
yep. And then, I guess, did you do your top authors, or, like, repeat authors?
I did.
Okay, so my repeat authors, clearly number one was Sarah J. Maas. I read almost all of her books, so that can
Did
be
you read
expected.
ACOTAR this year too?
Yes.
Okay.
That was my first introduction to Sarah J. Maas, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a big fan of the first book, Court of Thorns and Roses, but then after that, then I started like liking the books a lot
Yeah.
more. And then the next one was Chloe Walsh, and that is because of the Tom and Boy series. Have you read the Tom and Boy
Mm,
series?
I haven't.
It's very dark. Very
Yeah.
not dark. It's dark. There's just like a lot of stuff. To me, it's like reality. Like a
Okay.
lot of stuff that can happen in real life.
Yeah.
And it is actually like the series is kind of based, she said it, based on like what she went through.
Oh, okay.
And so it tore me apart. Like this series, I am so excited for the next book. I believe we're getting like multiple new books coming out. And so I cannot wait. And then RF Kwong was my
Mm,
next one.
love
And
her.
clearly there's a whole shelf dedicated to this woman now, and I love her. And then my last one, like top four, I'd say, was Blake Crouch. And he
Mm,
was really just like his science fiction is unmatched.
agreed.
And
Heavy
so I
agree.
have read most of his books, and I love him. I love his writing.
So my repeat authors, I obviously with like the off-campus series existing, Elle Kennedy was a
Yep.
big one for me. I read 12 of her books this year. Melissa Rorick, obviously that's my girl for real. Love her down bad.
And she's from
Um,
North Dakota, right?
and she's from Western North Dakota.
Ooh,
That's our girl. That's our hometown queen.
hometown girly.
Um, I read 11 of her books this year, which I think is her entire catalog. Um, so Lady of Darkness series and the Legacy series. I need to tell y'all that I have introduced 2 of my friends to the Lady of Darkness series because I'm like, I read them out of chronological order. You should read them in chronological order. And so they are. And they're addicted. They're like, this is some of the best fantasy romance I've ever read. And I was like,
Really?
I'm telling you, this shit is insane. They're like texting me like, oh my god, does this mean this and this mean this and this mean this? And I just have to be like,
You have to
I
figure
don't
that out for yourself.
know. So yeah, love that. I read I went through a cowboy romance phase and read quite a bit of Elsie Silver,
Mhm.
which there's some controversy with Elsie Silver currently.
Yep.
So I
What
don't
is
know
it?
that I will continue to pick up her books. And I'm pretty sure it's her, but I don't know for sure. Um,
Oh, I know exactly what it is. It's
that
about the way that she just describes people of color, correct?
it wasn't a person of color.
Oh,
It was a white person who got really tan. She described their skin as looking dirty.
yes.
And
Yes.
people, there's a lot of controversial takes, not controversial, conflicting takes online because some people are like, she's describing a white person, so why are people of color getting upset? And some black individuals are like, if she thinks very tan skin on a white person looks dirty, what does she think about black people?
Exactly. Yep.
Um, um, yeah, so I don't 100% know that I'll be picking up any more Elsie Silver just because like that doesn't sit super well
Mhm.
with me. Like the problem is that like with my own skin, I can kind of understand what she's saying, right? Like immediately when I come in from tanning, I can look like the tone of my skin can look a little dirty because it's like the melanin has come straight to the top of my skin to protect it from the sun,
Yep.
and once that kind of wears off, it looks like a nice golden tan.
Yep.
But that's just like an icky way to like describe any sort of skin
Mhm.
tone. Like I wouldn't ever describe anybody's skin tone itself as being
Dirty.
dirty.
No.
So we'll see. I likely won't continue reading her stuff just because like I don't super love that.
Yep.
And there's enough other cowboy romance authors that like I can fill that hole um through other
Yep.
things. And
Yep.
then yeah, through reading Throne of Glass, I read 8 of Sarah J. Maas's books this year. But
Yep.
those are my repeat authors. Yeah.
What about your like surprising genre shifts?
Um I got into fantasy more this year.
Yep.
And like I had started reading fantasy a little bit 2024, but that was like heavy fantasy romance.
Mhm.
This year I picked up more just like straight up fantasy.
Yep.
Um and I think that that's something that I'll continue to do. Um and then I also like took teeny tiny steps into sci-fi and horror and like
Oh,
had a
horror
little bit
too.
of fun doing
Ooh.
a little bit of horror. So I think that I'll continue with both of those genres in a way that I haven't before. But what
Yep.
about you? Like what genres were new for you in 2025?
Fantasy, first of all, just because like I had never read a fantasy book before.
Mhm.
But that was like at the start of the year when I really got into fantasy, and now it's just like a norm for me.
Yeah.
But science fiction, which I've explained earlier, I I think I've said this before many times, but I just never thought that I would be like a sci-fi girly. Once
Mhm.
you get into sci-fi, like I just never thought that it really interested me
Mhm.
until I read Antarctica Station by A.G. Riddle, and then I was hooked. And that is
Yep.
why I have 27 sci-fi books. And then historical fiction, which I talked about earlier, like I'd get
Yeah.
into. I just recently, I'd say starting in like the end of November, start of December, I really started picking up historical fiction. I don't know if it was, I think it was one certain book, but I can't remember the name of it. But it was just like okay, I really like how this author like wrote historical fiction, and so
Mhm.
what I try to do is like find books similar to that
Okay.
that like I think I'd enjoy. And I think I've read like 5 historical fictions since then, and clearly I'm
Oh,
reading
wow.
two right now. So
Yeah.
I have just really gotten into that lately,
I love
and
that.
I love it. I love it.
Let's stop talking in broad terms and get very detailed here in our
Mhm.
top 10 books
Ooh, I'm
of
so excited.
2025. Um, why don't you tell me, let's go through one by one, yeah, like 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Tay, tell me, what was your 10th best book of 2025?
So this one, I kind of had 2 books in one, but it's whatever. It was The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments by Margaret Atwood.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly relate this to watching the TV show. I actually, like I said, I think in the last video, I watched the TV show first. I did try to read Handmaid's Tale before, but I think that was at like in January or February where I did not understand literary fiction that much. I had
Mm-hmm.
trouble reading it. And I actually read the Testaments first in
Okay.
November. And then I listened to The Handmaid's Tale. And I have come to love Margaret Atwood's writing style, like character descriptions. I just love her books, and these books, because of the TV show, like the TV show and the books, these books just like mean so much to me because
Mm,
it's like not far off from the world we're living in today.
yeah.
And not saying like this exact thing could happen, but it is essential, in my opinion, to think and go over books like these where our situation can become very similar to
Yeah.
this, like getting rid of contraception, banning abortion,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's why these books just they mean so much to me. I'll have to add that to my TBR because I have very much gotten into femininity and women being women and just
Mm-hmm.
embracing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's something really like fun and really telling about like in the world that we currently live in where women being are having their sort of rights torn away, and not the world but like the country
Yeah,
that we live in.
yeah,
I think that it's really refreshing to like read a story about women finding themselves as women and loving themselves as
yes,
women.
yes.
um so yeah, that was a fun one for me.
My number 9 is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, and this is part of the Tom and Boy series, and
Yep.
this is actually the last book at this time in the series, and it is about 2 characters, and they're all interconnected like stories,
Okay.
but this one goes into more of like the past of Lizzie's life, and what happened to her as a young child.
Okay.
um and it's just it made me cry. Like this book just means so much to me because especially because she suffers from a mental illness, very
Mm,
very relatable to that. But the way that she suffers from it is clearly not the way that I suffer from it.
yep.
And it was refreshing to see another like point of view of how bipolar disorder affected her.
Mm-hmm.
um but this book just it was my favorite book of the series so far, and I believe that we're getting another book from her point of view and the other boys' point of view, and I'm just so excited for that. But it is very dark, and I think this one is the like darkest of them
Okay.
all. So there are plenty of trigger warnings for that one.
Yeah.
What about your number 9?
My number 9 was a book that I read actually for my book club,
Oh,
called The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown.
okay.
It's fantasy, like magical realism adjacent,
Mm,
but I would call it fantasy.
yeah.
It's not like a big fantasy, like a whatever.
Brandon
It
Sanderson type of
Yeah,
fantasy.
like
Yeah.
we're not like building worlds, and there's not like fae and whatever else, but there are
Yeah.
these books that are written that each book has a different magical purpose, right?
Okay.
So the Book of Doors, which our main character gets a hold of, um, makes it so that if she imagines any door, she can open any door in her house and be at the door that she pictures.
Oh heck yeah, that sounds right up my freaking alley.
And I mean, it's like cozy, it's cute, but it's also like stressful because there's like bad people that are coming after you for this book, and then there are other books, and all these other books have other purposes. Like there's one that's like the Book of Pain. So if you make anyone touch this book, they're in like debilitating pain.
Oh.
So like there's books that can be used for like good purposes, but then there's also books that can be made for very evil purposes. And then yes, we like meet some very evil people along the way, and we meet some very good people along the way, and like
Yeah.
it all sort of comes together really nicely. Um but it was written really well. The only thing that I that I like laughed about with the people in my book club was that they set the book in New York City. The author is British,
Oh.
so some of the slang that he was using for the characters was very British, but then they were supposed to be in New York, and I was like, we could have just had them like in London, and this wouldn't have been a problem.
Yep. Yep. Oh no.
But yeah, no, I really, really, really liked that book. It obviously is one of my favorite reads of the year. What's your number
Okay.
8 of 2025?
Mine is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This had to go on the list. It was between Kingdom of Ash or Queen of Shadows, but in the end, Queen of Shadows was just my favorite out of the whole series.
Yep.
I just loved Aelin in. Oh, well, if you haven't read, that's a spoiler alert, I guess.
No, you didn't
Anyway,
actually say it. You didn't say the like big thing.
yeah, that's true. Yes,
You just
I
mentioned
love
the
her.
character Aelin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just another character. Um, I loved her in this series. I love Rowan in this series. I There's like not that much for me to say about it just because it has been a little bit since I have read it.
Mhm.
But it has just stuck with me as one of my favorite books from that series. And it's just like it's near and dear to my heart because of it being like my first true fantasy series.
Mhm.
And I just love the characters. The characters mean everything to me. So th- that's my number 8.
That's your number 8.
What's yours?
My number 8 is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
Ooh.
Historical fiction, so a
Yep.
good rec if that's what you're looking for this year. It's set World
On my
War
shelf somewhere.
II. Yeah, it's set World War II in France, I believe. And it's just like a story of sisters. Kristen Hanna does writing of women in a way that I have never been able to duplicate. Like
Okay.
people have like bones to pick about the like validity or like historical accuracy of some of the stuff that she writes. I'm not a historian, so I go, yeah, that seems that seems good to
That's
me.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. I liked the story of the sisters. I liked the story of like this growth and this change and this like trying to find who you are and how you're going to like sort of make the world a better and brighter place.
Mm-hmm.
Um So I really, really, really appreciated that. And then yeah, like I thought that it was a really, really beautifully done story. Um, and then I found out this year that they're making it into a movie with
Are they?
Elle and Dakota Fanning, and it'll be the first time
Yes.
those two sisters play sisters.
Yes.
Or like are in the same film.
Yep.
So I am so excited. I sobbed during this book. Like, it's
Oh,
so well done. It's beautifully done. The story is incredible. Yeah, that she's Kristen Hanna is a top like 5 writer for me, like of all
yeah.
time. Like the stuff that I've read of hers, I love.
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked that this book has landed on my list. But I am really happy about it. What was your 7th best book of 2025?
Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Have you read this?
I have.
Okay, okay. Have you watched the TV series?
No, because on Apple TV and I don't have
Oh,
Apple TV.
shit, I forgot. Okay,
Yeah.
TV series is just as good as the freaking book.
Okay, that's good
But
to know because
this,
maybe I'll like get a trial.
that's what I did.
A
I
binge
got a
watch,
free
yeah.
trial so that I could watch it. But this one, so I have like 2 or 3 books it was really hard to choose from. Recursion, which I thought was good. I didn't rate this one was a 4.75.
Okay.
Um but Upgrade, have you read Upgrade?
I've read all 3 of those. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Upgrade and Dark Matter, like it was really hard to choose which one I liked more,
Okay.
but I did choose Dark Matter just because like it was such an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It like I did not put this book down. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Obsessed. Um and I just like so the TV series is actually going to be like there's another season coming, but the
Mm-hmm.
adaptation of the TV series was fan freaking tastic. And
Okay.
like the way that it portrayed the characters and what happened, there was only a few things in the adaptation, maybe 1 or 2 that I was like, that didn't happen in the book.
Mm.
Otherwise, but that the book was so good and it makes me fall even more in love with science fiction when you
Mm-hmm.
find a book that good and like
Yeah.
all of these possibilities that could happen. It's kind of like the Book of Doors
Mm-hmm.
where you're opening a door and you don't know where it leads to, but it could lead to someplace real good or someplace real bad.
Real bad.
Real
Yeah.
bad.
So my 7th, I okay, so I knew that a book from the Legacy series was going to be my 7 here, right? Because I
Yeah,
was like, these books
they consumed you.
literally, like they were, I think, like up to 1,000 pages, and I would read them in like 2 or 3 days. Like, I was
Oh,
flying through this shit, bro. I was like
okay. Okay.
obsessed. I ended up choosing the first book of that series, so Reign of Shadows and
Oh.
Endings by Melissa Rorick, um, because it was the book that got me into her as an author.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, it was the introduction of characters that are god awful. Like, all of these characters are horrible people.
Oh no.
Um, and I love them. Like, there's something, and like, I liked it because you know how like sometimes you can get a morally gray like male character?
Hmm.
The female main character in this is just as morally gray, if not leaning towards like bad,
Yeah.
than the male is. So
Okay.
I was like, I
Okay.
kind of love that she's kind of a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, that's really fun for me. The only other thing that I'll say about this book, well, okay, here's the thing. It's got dragons. It's
Oh.
got fairies. It's
Oh.
got gods. I just and and this is not a spoiler. Melissa posts it everywhere because people got mad that this happened, which I'm like, why are you mad about this? It's a why choose.
Ooh.
I love why
Oh.
choose. But yeah, one of my favorite characters to ever exist. Well, that's not even true because she introduced additional characters that I like kind of loved more. But like Luca, his name is Luca. He's a dragon. I love him. I love
Oh.
him bad. He's a dragon shifter.
Oh.
Sorry.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love him bad, bro. I love him so bad. So yes. The Legacy series has my heart and soul. I just love her as an author. That's my girl for real. Like if Melissa, if you're watching, if you're listening, girl, get me on a PR list because I love you down bad, bro.
Hell yeah.
I sing your praises to everyone I know. Like, that's my girl.
You're the one, I believe you recommended it to me as well, and it is on my TBR for 2026.
Perfect.
So I cannot wait to fall in love. This makes me even more excited.
But yeah, okay.
Oh, I love it.
What was your 6th book of 2025?
Morning Star by Pierce Brown.
Yeah.
It is part of the Red Rising trilogy. It is the last book in the trilogy. I loved the first one, not as much as I loved Golden Sun and Morning Star, but Morning Star, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but has a plot twist that I truly was like crying because of this. And just like this series is just insane. Like
Mm-hmm.
I did not, like 30% of the way through the first book, I was like, I don't understand the hype. I was like, it's good, but I just don't understand the hype. And then the rest of the book, I was like, holy shit, this is good. Then I got into Golden Sun, and I was like, holy shit, this is even better. And then I got to Morning Star, and I was like, this is one of the best series I think I have ever read. I'm pretty sure I
Okay.
put that in my review too. I was like, this is one of the best series with, even though clearly there's more books, there's 3 more books, or there's gonna be another
Mm-hmm.
4th one, or whatever. The trilogy was like unmatched. And I believe like the next 4 books are not like about these characters, or maybe it's about some
Mm.
of them but not the main character. um but like the ending of Morning Star, I was bawling. I just loved it so freaking much.
Okay, yeah, that it's on my TBR for
Hmm.
2026 because
Yes.
everyone that I know, even people who like aren't readers, are like, you
Yep.
must read this series. And I was like,
Oh. Yeah,
I'll do
so
it.
just fair warning, the first like 20 to 30% maybe like a little bit of a struggle to get through. At least it was for me, and I do see a lot of other people say that like it was like, oh, what's gonna happen, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But I after that it becomes so interesting. What about you? What's your 6?
Coming to a surprise to no one, The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang.
Yeah. Yep.
I there I just really loved the Poppy War series as a whole.
Yep.
As we've already said, a morally gray character, and not even morally gray, a morally
she
bad character.
she is just,
Awful.
she's a person,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah. But that like I really, really do enjoy a character that is not a good character, but but there's like a lot of context as to like what made them grow into this like not good person, Fae,
Yeah.
whatever. They're not Fae in this book, but like I like that there's a villain arc, and I like when there's a villain arc and it makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so this was one of my first sort of forays into like an epic fantasy,
Yep.
a war
Yep.
fantasy, and I really, really, really had a good time. So that is number 6 for me. Halfway there.
Halfway there, guys. So number 5 is actually a novella,
Oh,
and it is "And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer" by Frederick Bachman. Have you read this?
no, but I need to
Okay.
because I love him.
It's 63 pages,
Okay.
and I actually listened to this one on audiobook.
Okay, so it
Um,
was what, like 20 minutes?
it literally, it was so quick, but it was the, like, saddest, like, I can't even explain it. I cried. Let's just
Mhm.
say that. I cried. This book, especially because, so it's about a grandpa
Okay.
with dementia,
Okay.
and it's it's a little hard to follow just because of the way that it was written, but
Mhm.
like you understand it at the end. And I mean you get used to it. It's a novella, so it's going to go by quick, but you get used to like the way the memories and stuff was written.
Okay.
Um but he's talking to his grandson and his son, and he talks about his late wife, and I mean, I was bawling. I was
Yeah.
bawling, especially because I have worked in a dementia unit in the cities. I
Oh,
worked
okay.
as a nursing assistant, and I just could relate to so much of like seeing people deteriorate, seeing their
Yeah.
minds deteriorate, and like what they lose so much in such a short period of time, and
Mhm.
like felt that to the core when I was reading this book.
My number 5 was Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J.
Yep.
Maas. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Um, there. So okay, I liked Aelin.
Mhm.
I didn't love Aelin.
Yep.
I loved. I know it's probably pronounced Manon. I called her Manon.
She was Manon in my head.
Manon to me and the 13.
Yep.
And their how their story wrapped up kills me as a
It ended me.
person.
It
Yeah.
literally ended me. I was sat bawling.
No, literally. The entire like last like 300 pages of that book I read in one sitting.
Mhm.
Um and it was like 3 a.m. by the time I finished, but I was like I can't be done, like I can't put this book down. Like I
Yeah.
I I need to know how it ends. Um yeah, like I think that book, it was a toss up for this spot between Kingdom of Ash and Empire of Storms.
Okay.
I loved Empire of Storms. Yeah. I just like the for me that book was a lot about the like side characters, or like the
Mhm.
what made me love these two books was the side characters
Yep.
less than our like main characters,
Mhm.
and it was good. It was so good.
My 4 is actually a book that I read in December, I think.
Ooh,
Yes, it was one of my
recent
first
read.
books in December. I think I recommended this one to you. It is
Okay.
Out on a Limb by Hannah Boehm Young.
Yes, 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 yes.
I got the copy that like cuz there's a different version. This is like one of the first copies.
Mm-hmm.
And I am like I it's so near and dear to my heart. This book, so it starts off with an author's note.
Okay.
Um and the author's note is about women's rights and how they
Mm.
are being taken away in America, because this is set in Canada for this specific reason, getting an abortion or keeping the baby or
Mm.
birth control and stuff like that. Um, and the author's notes, I think it was like 4 pages long, and I was hooked from the start. I was like, I am pretty sure this is going to be one of my favorite books, and I haven't even started the first chapter. Like, the author's note was that impactful.
Yep.
And I think I've said it plenty of times. I'm just not a huge contemporary romance girly. I have started to try to delve more into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this book, I just can't explain it without like doing spoilers, but
Mm-hmm.
both of the main characters have a disability. So she has like a nub for one of her hands, and he lost his left like leg,
Okay.
or up to the knee, so it was like an amputation, below the knee amputation. And the way that like they're represented and their disabilities are represented,
Mm-hmm.
I just it is just so near and dear to my heart, and I will recommend this to literally anybody because
Okay.
it's so freaking good. It's so
Okay.
good. And the love story, with a lot of contemporary romances, I find the love stories to be a little unbelievable.
Yep.
Because I feel like quite a few of them are like insta love or
Yeah.
love within the first two chapters.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time with that. With this one, it is slow freaking burn, baby. It's
Love, 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 love,
slow
love, love, love.
burn. And it is the perfect, it's such a realistic slow burn to me.
My four is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins.
Yep.
I did a complete reread of The Hunger Games this year and then read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and that one was fine. I think any book about President Snow, I was gonna be like, fuck you. And like
Yep.
that kind of is where I existed in that. And then Sunrise on the Reaping, which is Hamish's story. I'm really excited for that book. It comes out in November,
Oh,
and
the
I'm
movie comes out
oh yeah,
in
the
November?
the movie. It'll come out I think like right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to be just absolutely devastated by that. But yeah, the book was incredible. That said, Catching Fire is still my number one of the saga.
Yeah.
But because Catching Fire was a reread, I didn't want to include that in this year's. But yeah, Sunrise on the Reaping, so good. Love Haymitch. I feel like by reading that book, I gained such a deeper understanding as to why Haymitch was the way he was
Yeah.
throughout the first couple books.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, if it's true that Jennifer Lawrence
It is. It is.
and
It's been
Josh
confirmed.
Hutcherson,
Because
I
I haven't read Sunrise on the Reaping, and
you must.
I've been avoiding the previews, or
Yeah,
like the
the
trailer
like
that,
trailers. Yeah,
yeah, I've been avoiding that like the plague because I haven't read Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes or Sunrise on the Reaping. And for me, I haven't read it because I'm like I don't want it to be done.
yeah. But now it's time for our top three.
Ooh, I'm so
Ooh,
excited. I'm so excited.
what's your three?
Okay, number 3 is Antarctica Station by A.G. Riddle. Ooh, I just love it. It's on the top shelf. I got it for Christmas, and I literally could not be more excited. I will be rereading that book this year. Like, no doubt.
Obsessed. Yeah,
Rereading
you're
it.
like,
Probably more at the end of the year. I just loved it so much. It was such a good book. You meet a car thing that has like it's technically like AI in the car,
like a
but
sentient car?
it's just like a programmed car with
Okay.
AI.
Okay.
But this AI in this car becomes a huge part of the story in helping the main character.
Okay.
Like, I'm obsessed. I don't like AI, by the way, friends. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge fan of
Keep it
AI.
clear here. Yeah.
But this is fictional AI, okay? So the AI vehicle in this story is just like the quotes, the writing that comes from this particular AI is just like it's like it hurts. What is your third one?
I had to pick from the Lady of Darkness series. You guys are going to be so sick of me rambling on about these two series. And you know what? I don't
Who
care.
cares? Who cares? They're
I
ours.
yeah, I sorry that I had a good time reading books that I loved, okay?
Exactly.
God forbid a girl finds a series of books that she likes or an author that she loves and becomes a
Exactly.
little bit obsessed.
Right?
If you can't tell by my obsession for heated rivalry, I become obsessed with things very easily and
What?
then I cannot let them go.
What?
So I did Lady of Embers. It is. I feel like there were a couple just really important pieces of context that we get in that book.
Mhm.
So that's why I put that one there. If I had the opportunity, I'd put the entire series at 3. Like that is it
I mean, you
is
can.
yeah. And and so what if I do?
So what if
And
you
I
do?
think
But
and I think something that I've noted about series before is that if you're not catching me with the first or by the end of the first book, I'm not going to like it. And these
yeah,
books did.
yeah,
So like that's I think that's why they have such like a special place for me in my reading is that
yeah.
I was brought in and like connected and like cajoled into this story from like page 1.
Mhm.
So yes, I will stop rambling on about
I'm
her,
fine with it. Just makes
but
me
I
even more excited to read
but I
it.
love her. I'm so sorry. Number 2. What is your number 2?
This one is also a recently read book. It is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E.
Okay.
Schwab.
Yep.
This book is so near and dear to my heart. I do admit that it is slow. I do recommend if you struggle to get into the book to listen to the audiobook.
Okay.
I did immersive reading, and the main character and the way that she has to go through the world and through
Mhm.
time and live her life. Clearly, it's in the title, so it's not a spoiler. Live her life as invisible.
Mhm.
Um, and then meeting a character who sees her. Um, it was just it was so like sad to see what she had to go through, but also she made the most of it.
Yep.
She made it the most, like, and it's she revolted against the person who made her um who turned her invisible pretty much.
Mhm.
She like striked a deal and she revolted against him, and I love the story with her and that character. But also the time jumps. I know some people don't like the time jumps,
Mhm.
but I loved seeing what her life was like, you know, per each like per the century or per the year. What is your second one?
If you've heard me talk about this being my number 1 book of the year, you would be right. And then I read something at the end of the year that overtook it for
Okay.
number 1.
Okay. Yep.
So, my number 2 read of the year is Wellness by Nathan Hill. I that was another one that we read for my book club,
Yeah.
and everyone in the book club hated it. I loved it.
Yep.
I think that it's like a it I would call it like domestic fiction. Like
Mhm.
it's just like two people and their relationship and like how
Okay.
it started, how like where they're at now, how they got to where they're at now. Um and then you get left off not knowing. Like the end is like you
Oh.
think that you're gonna like follow these two people through their relationship and like you're gonna know sort of how their relationship wraps up in a pretty little bow, and you don't.
Yep.
Um,
Sometimes that's like warranted. That's
yeah,
needed for a book, and I like that.
it felt very real. Like it felt like these were two people who are like actively currently living. Like this could have been nonfiction.
Yep.
Um, so I really, really liked that. I I recommended it to a couple people. One of my friends finished it semi recently because I got it for her for her birthday, and she was like, "This is one of the best books I've ever read." And I was like, "Thank you! Somebody sees the vision." Um, so yeah, so I'm very excited. Because I'm making my mom read it too. I got it for my mom for Christmas. Because I think that she'll have a different understanding to the story that I don't have because these characters are in their like 30s or 40s maybe.
Mhm.
Um and have like had a kid and like there's a part of them that like won't make sense to me because I
Yeah.
am not married. I do not have a kid. I do not have a super long-term relationship. I'm not in a relationship at all. So like
Yep.
there's parts of it that like aren't relatable to me, but like I really enjoyed reading.
Mhm.
And I am excited to like hear my mom's point of view as somebody who has had kids and like been in sort of relationships similar. So yeah.
Yep.
Well, number one.
I
What
feel like
is your
anybody
number
who
one?
knows me knows what this is,
Yeah.
and it is Babel by R. F.
Yep.
Kuang. I mean, there's my special edition that I got for Christmas. I I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And it was one of those books that I did not think I was going to like.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I just didn't think I was going to love.
Okay.
It was just like, I'll try this book out. I've heard really good things about this author. I read The Poppy War. Wasn't the biggest fan of the last two books, but I loved the first book.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a dark academia girly.
Yep.
I love, love, love dark academia. And so I was like, I'll try this out. If I don't like this book, then I just think I won't read any more from the author. Well, let me tell you, she's my favorite author now.
Yep.
Um, this this book is just so special to me. I made my husband read it. He didn't have the same feelings as I did, which hurt my feelings a little bit. Um, but it is about revolting
Yeah.
and about how people of minorities the book was as the main character in the book was coming from the family that he did, the way his family suffered, and him being brought to live with this man who took him in, but is not he's not really a father figure. In
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, he is just there to kind of profit off
Mm-hmm.
of the main character, in my opinion. And he keeps telling this character that like he brought him here for the good, and he like should accept this, and blah 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 blah. And just the way that he was treated, his his two other friends who were also people of color or minorities were treated compared to their other friend, Letty, who was a Caucasian, was completely just like eye opening. Even though clearly living in the now, you see
Yeah.
the disparities that people of color and other minorities face.
Yep.
Um, but just seeing him revolt against it was just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your number one?
My number one was a book that I'd been putting off for a really long time because I knew it was gonna
Ooh,
emotionally ruin me.
ooh, ooh.
But I finally picked it up and I was like, I just need to read it. I think it's gonna be great. And it was, and it is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Yes, yes, yep.
I love Taylor Jenkins Reid as an author, just in general. Like I
Mhm.
haven't read a book of hers that I didn't love. Um, and Atmosphere was just like a beautiful story about sort of like gayness and like
Mhm.
intellectualism and like wanting to see a better future and like women. um and I really loved the writing and the story and the sort of like what it means, like what love looks like in a way
Yep,
that isn't typically shown. um yeah, I feel like there was like a common theme this year that I was picking up a lot of queer media.
yep,
Um and that's not something that I've super done before, but I really enjoyed just like exploring that side of media this year. And I think that like as a person from a marginalized community, like I think that like
mhm.
seeing perspectives that aren't a part of my own identity
Yep,
um is really eye-opening and like awakening, and like it helps me understand like how it all sort of adds up for people who have multiple identities.
Oh,
Um
1000%. I actually saw someone say, who is queer,
mhm,
that he is he relates with queer literature.
mhm,
Um, but he said that the way that queer literature is written compared to like heterosexual literature
mhm,
is so different, because in most queer literature you find more realistic love stories than you do in a heterosexual book.
mhm,
And so for a lot of people just starting to read queer fantasy or like queer books, it can be really eye-opening, and especially
mhm,
for, like we said earlier with heated rivalry, um with straight women, they they find comfort in gay books or queer books, because it's something that heterosexual, like dating a man, sometimes is, I don't even know how to explain it. It's hard to find love sometimes
mhm.
with a male. And so just his perspective. I am bisexual, but just his perspective about queer literature really made me like just think about it. I have read a decent amount of queer books as well this year, and there's just something so different about it compared to reading just like regular heterosexual, like contemporary romance.
Yeah, and I like the way that authors have been stepping into it recently, where it's less about like, and I think that the same is happening for um like black books as well, where it's
Mhm.
less about like the trauma that comes from holding these identities, and like the like fear for your safety and like for your well-being. It's less about that and more about like what that life looks like outside of the fear and outside of that trauma.
Yes.
um so I think that that's just, it's just been fun. It's been a fun deep dive into, yeah, like a different into a different like brand of reading that I haven't ever done before.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that that's something that I'll continue into 2026. I think it also like makes me a better person. It makes me a better friend, especially to like friends who do exist in that LGBTQIA plus spectrum. Like I think that like
Yeah.
by reading I can like gain empathy in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise, because I'm getting into
Mhm.
the head of somebody whose experiences are so much different than my
Right.
own. But yeah, top 10 books of 2025.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so now as we're beginning to close out our episode, we want to look forward into 2026. We have a lot of time, we have a lot of space. Let's figure out what we're doing. So, what is your personal reading goal for this year?
It is 125 books. I think because I did make it to 100, and I actually made it to 100, I think in October. I think that I can do 125 books. What about you? What's your reading goal?
So I know that people are going to hear my 153 and think, "Oh, she's going to set a really high goal." I'm setting the same goal that I set as last year, which is
Yep.
100 books.
Yep.
This year is coming with a lot of things,
Girly Pop
right?
is busy.
Yes. So I'm
Mhm.
starting my last semester of grad school. I would have started it. I'm starting it the week that this comes out. Um, Starting my last semester of grad school. I'm working. I'm a TA. And then starting in like March, I need to like be very intentional and looking for jobs, because once school is done, like I have to find work.
Yep.
Um, and the job market's not great right now, so that's going to be a big thing.
What?
And then potentially like I'll be moving. If
Yeah.
I find a job that's not in Minnesota, I'll be leaving the state. So like the this year is gonna be. I'm trying to be realistic in my goal.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, I've read over 100 books. The year before that, I only read 90.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to be realistic in that. Yes, I would love to read more this year than I did in 2025, and the likelihood of that is like not super high.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but then I also have a couple just like book goals in that I want to read Red Rising. That is
Mhm.
like one of my big goals for the year. I need to finish Beartown. I've been putting it off for literally like a year and a half because I don't
The
want to say
first book?
goodbye to the
The first
characters.
book or the second book?
No, the
The
third.
second book.
I've
Oh,
read
third
the
book. Yeah.
first
Yes.
and the second,
Yes.
and I've been putting off reading the third because I don't want to be done with it.
Yeah.
Um, so that is one that I'm like, I need to just get into. I need to just open the book and start reading it. And then I have been recommended this book literally for 4 years, and I've owned it for like three, and I've just not picked it up yet, and that's Demon Copperhead.
Oh.
And every person that I've ever met has been like, you will love this book.
Yeah.
And I think that that like sort of hype around it is like
Makes
making me
you,
nervous
like,
to
so
start.
nervous to read it.
Yeah.
Yep. I get that.
So that is one that I'm putting on my that I like need to read this year.
Yep.
But yes, we have books ourselves, but there will be new books coming out. Do you
Yes.
have any new releases that you're hyped for?
Yes. Going back though,
Oh
I
yeah.
I forgot to put the rest of my personal reading goal for 2026. So, clearly I said 125 books. I want to read 1 to 2 books of my physical TPR per
Okay.
month because I have been not good about that. I've been buying books. Lately, I've been a lot better, but sometimes I get into this habit of buying books and then not reading them and then putting them on my
Mhm.
shelf. I feel like everybody who reads maybe has this problem too.
Well, but I've heard that like you can't think of buying books as like building your TBR, and instead you're thinking of buying books like you do buying wine. Like some you open right away and are good right away,
Yeah,
and some need to like sit and like ferment on your shelves
I
until they taste their
love that.
best.
I
So
love
like
that.
yeah, I have a ton of books that I haven't read, but like it's because I haven't been in the like I
The
haven't
mind
been in
space.
the context of my life that would
Yep,
make reading these books make sense, and I'm
yep.
not going to force that.
Okay,
So,
love that. Love
yeah,
that.
just a different way of thinking.
Yes. And then I want to continue to get through my Kindle or Libby TBR. I have
Mm-hmm.
a decent amount. I made a whole Excel spreadsheet of both my physical TBR and my Kindle and Libby TBR.
Okay.
And I would like to get at least like 25% of that done. We'll see how that goes. I am definitely a mood reader,
Mm-hmm.
or I might just look at a book and be like, okay, I'm picking this up. So that one's a little bit more intimidating, but I at least want to get through some.
Yep.
And then I want to explore more genres.
Mm,
Like
okay.
I want to get a little bit more into literary fiction. I struggled with it like I said earlier. At the start of the year, I struggled with literary fiction, so I want to get more into that. I also want to pick up some memoirs. I'm
Mm.
not a nonfiction self-help girly pop.
Mm-hmm.
But I think memoirs are something I can do. Anyway, since I forgot to finish that, the new releases that I am hyped for are the Astral Library by Kate Quinn.
Okay.
I think that comes out in February. And then Molka by Monica Kim, and I believe it is it'll be like a translation, I
Okay.
think. But it's set in like Korea. It's kind of like a horror book. It's like
Mm,
set in
okay.
Korea and bad things are happening and it just seems really interesting. And then I read Good Spirits by BK Borison this month, or sorry, December. And there is a second book. It's not following these characters, but I believe it's interconnected and it
Okay.
is called Grimm, and that one doesn't come out till like October, I think. So that one's unfortunately a really long wait. What about you? What are your expected for new releases?
Yeah, so I don't follow new releases super closely.
Mhm.
Um, there are a couple that I'm like stoked for.
Yeah,
And they're all just from authors that I've already read.
yeah.
So obviously my girl Melissa is releasing a book this
What?
year. It's the first book of her third series, the Avonlea series. So I don't know if you read this, First Time Caller by B.K. Borson.
That is on my TBR for 2026. I have the book. I just haven't picked it up.
It's so cute, so
Mhm.
good. But the second book of that interconnected standalone series comes out February 24th.
Is it it's just a duology, right? Or is it a series?
I think it's a series.
Okay.
I think there's gonna be 3 total.
I'm so excited to read that one. That one is definitely going to be read like in February or March.
Yeah. So that one comes out February 24th and it's called And Now Back to You. Liz Tom 40 that did the Windy City series
Mhm.
is releasing a separate standalone about
Oh,
the baseball coach. And that's called In Her Own League. It's the baseball
okay.
coach and then the newest owner of the baseball team.
Oh, ooh.
And that comes out March 3rd. And then the author that wrote Strange Building or Strange Houses is releasing one called Strange Buildings, also
Oh.
on March 3rd. So I'm excited for
Okay.
that. And then my main girl, Catherine Center, is releasing one on May 19th called The Shivers. I have an
Mm.
arc for that, so I will be reading that one before it's released.
Ooh, ooh.
But I'm very, very, very excited to read. I'll probably be doing that closer to its release date
Yep.
so I can post on social media when it makes more sense to. But yes, very, very excited about that. And now, are there any reading habits that you're wanting to stop and or start in this new year?
So stop. I've actually been really good about this. Not going on book talk as much as I usually do. Besides heated rivalry. Give me all of that. But
I need
I
all of
want
that content
to
all of the time.
all of the time. I want to stop taking, like, not saying that book talk doesn't recommend good books. They do. They do. But I want to kind of find my books on my own or
Okay.
get it from YouTube from the people that I watch and I have similar book taste to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I get people hype these books up so much and then I get disappointed when I read the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Um and then things that I want to start doing is I want to write more in-depth reviews. I believe you also have this on yours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've actually started to do this. I started doing it at the end of December and I want to get better at it. I think that I'm just not very good at explaining things. And this kind of goes along with annotating. So I want to, not every book, clearly. Like, I'm not going to annotate a contemporary romance book. I might
Right.
highlight like a few passages that I like, but I'm most likely not going to annotate it. Um, but if I read like a literary fiction or historical fiction, I would like to start annotating. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of goes along with like writing reviews. The more I annotate, the more that I process the books, and maybe it stays a little bit more ingrained in my memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to reread my top 5 favorite books from 2025. And then the last one, this is actually a surprising one, is I want to reread the Poppy Wars series. I know
Oh,
that I
okay.
said I hated Dragon Republic, but I want to give it a try again. Because
Okay.
I love R.F. Kuang so much,
Yeah.
I am willing to give it a try. I don't think it will be at the start of the year. I think I'm maybe leaning towards more like summer,
Mm-hmm.
just because I still have deep feelings about hating Dragon Republic.
Yeah.
But but I want to give it another chance. And I think I want to do that with some of my other books too.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like going in the future, if I dislike a book and it's, say, like I give it under 3 stars, if I see some potential in it, I would like to reread it, and maybe at a different time it'll mean something to me more.
Yeah. That's really
What about you?
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, for me, as definitely started the top of the episode with, I want to be more intentional about audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Audiobooks have always just kind of been a throwaway for me, like something that I'll put on and then not pay attention to.
Yep.
And then at the end of 2025, I really started to like get into them as like reading. Like I was one of those people that like believed that audiobooks counted for other people but not for me.
Yep.
Um so I'm trying to lean more into that and being more intentional about it. Um so that's my first one. The other one is I just want to slow down my reading a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um I am known by like friends and other people that read as somebody who like reads books really fast.
Yep.
Um and like reads a ton of books and reads them really fast and like whatever else. And like yes, I do read, like I'm a very quick reader.
Yes.
My eyes can read very quickly. But I feel like sometimes in doing that I'm not as intentional about the books that I'm reading, and I'm not like consuming them necessarily the way that I want to.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and slow down my reading a little bit. Really try to get into the stories more. Um Not picking up a book to read it to finish it, but picking up a book to read it and enjoy it.
Yep.
Like you, I want to write more reviews. I don't use reviews, but that doesn't mean that other people don't use
Mm-hmm.
reviews. So that's something that I want to get more into. And then my last three are all like sort of just like how I want to structure my reading in a month. Um, in that I have read a lot of books that I really, really love that I haven't given myself the opportunity to reread
Mm-hmm.
because I have so many books on my shelves that I haven't read yet.
Yep.
So I'm giving myself the opportunity to allow myself one reread per month.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Um, because yeah, there are books that I like really love and like I really like miss the characters, and like there's a lot of books that I've read years ago that are being turned into TV shows and
Mm-hmm.
movies, and I want to like refresh myself on that without feeling guilty about the fact that like I have so many books that I haven't read yet. Like why am I
Right.
rereading?
Yep.
And that's just always going to be the case for me. Like I'm always just going to have a ton of books on my TBR, but I think that like finding the joy in reading and slowing down my reading is also going to be like reading stuff that I like and like that I
Yep.
know that I like and that I know. The other one is that I want to read one classic per month.
Ooh.
That one's gonna be a harder one to do
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
classics are typically written um a long time ago, so that like writing itself is very different than like contemporary writing.
Yep.
Um, but I think that that would be something that like would be good for me to do, just so that like one I can like understand references more, um and to like kind of gain an appreciation for not just books but for literature.
Yep.
And then I want to be better about reading arcs. I go through phases where I'll read like three back to back and then I won't pick them up again. So I want to read one arc per month.
Okay.
um
Okay.
and be really intentional about doing that well, and then writing the reviews, um in the hopes that I, you know, get on some publisher's list, you
Heck yeah.
know.
Heck
um
yeah.
and then the one that's less to do with reading and more to do with my bookstagram is just that I want to be more active on that and more intentional and post better things and whatever else. But yeah, that's me. That's 2025 or 2026. My bad. Don't get it twisted. But next episode, the long awaited episode 4,
Yes.
is the buddy read episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to give everyone full transparency in that we will be reading Intermezzo by Sally Rooney.
Yep.
And the entirety of the next episode is going to be spent on discussing Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. So if you want to be a part of our conversation and don't want spoilers for the book, you've got 2 weeks to
You've
read
got 2 weeks to read
Intermezzo. Or you'll just have to listen to the podcast when
Yep.
you finish reading it.
Because it will definitely be spoiler heavy. We are definitely
Spoiler
going to
heavy.
be annotating this book. And so yeah, just fair warning that it will be spoiler heavy.
Yeah, we're
So don't get mad at us when
Yeah.
we say spoiler heavy. We will even put in the description that it's spoiler heavy. So do not comment.
Yeah, I feel like
Getting mad at
read
us.
this book and you guys ruined it. Like,
Yeah.
We'd also love to hear from you. Tell us what your 2025 reading wrapped looks like. Tell us what your goals are for 2026. We would love to hear it. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah.
We hope you guys had a happy new year and
Yes.
Merry Christmas too.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year.
Yes.
Whatever you're celebrating or celebrated, we hope that it was great. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Maybe we'll one day do like a giveaway if we reach a certain number of subscribers.
Yeah. Well, and follow us on Instagram because sometimes you'll get a little in-depth of our podcast before it's released. We do little reels here and there.
Teasers.
And so little teasers. So if you want to go to our Instagram, it is TBR Files. And yeah, we will see you next episode.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Bye.